Hello everyone, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Rise. Hope you're doing well out there. Last time we only did one monster, I'm hoping that is not going to become a trend from here on out. However, I also neglected to explain how the meddling pot worked, and why it's such a pain. Essentially, you can use materials you gather to make charms, or talismans as they call it in this one, which starting out is not very good if I'm going to be honest. You only have a select number of skills that you can choose from, which you can meld into for the probability of. The thing is, there are better versions of this as you go on, so I'm just going to completely ignore this for now. There is no reason to even worry about it at the moment. So let's go ahead and choose our next monster, which shall be Mitsu. Oh, it's so beautiful, it's so great. It just wants to sleep, it's so cutesy and random, and it's a guy. Yeah, it's hard to burst any bubbles out there. I'm not going to say it's against gender norms, but I've seen so many people mistake this for a female monster. Canonically, the ones we fight are all guys. We never actually see a female one in this one. I don't have lightning ammo? I mean, I have piercing thunder, so that's fine, but... Yeah, I don't know if it was introduced in this one or was in World, but there's a new kind of round when it comes to elementals called the piercings, taken after dragon ammo of old. Yes, please, turn off my wire bugs, please. But yeah, me too, one of the Fated Four. Which makes me wonder, are they going to do one of each of the Fated Four with each new game, or are we actually going to see them all together again? Because I want all Fated 4 again. Beautiful rounds. Not KO'd yet. Which, yeah, that's how the light bowgun and heavy bowgun KO monsters. Sticky rounds. You can also slice tails and such with slicing ammo. Which they nerfed into the ground, from my understanding. That being said, it's still pretty good. Got greedy. You really shouldn't get greedy with those shots. You can only carry 9 at a time. After a while, the KO threshold gets kind of mean. That being said, this monster just leads with its head so much that it's easy to stick it. And KO. Well, this thing is just not having a good day. Meanwhile, the heavy bowgun, which is my other favorite, it has a charge shot now. You can charge up the shots and they do buku amount of damage. Their one downside before was limited mobility, but with the new wire bug skills and even their new perfect guard, that's no longer an issue. You don't even need the shield anymore if you use it right now. But yeah, there are modifications to Bowgun as you saw last time. This one gets a silencer or a long barrel, which... Your gun, you want the silencer because it also reduces recoil. And sleep. Only the one? That's fine, I have Pierce. Now Pierce is exactly as it sounds. It pierces the monster. And does damage with every single piercing method. But yeah, this is Mitsune. It likes to flap around, use bubbles, blast you with its water if it can, throw you out of the air. Dive bomb you. And is a shrapnel. As you can see, it just tears into it. But the downside to the light bowgun and heavy bowgun is a lot of micromanaging. Your fingers are going to be dancing across the controller more than ever before. So if you're still not comfortable with the game, you're in for a rough time with the guns. That's why they're the most technical, but also the least technical at the same time. Because all you have to worry about is shot type, but you also have to deal with shot type. However you get used to everything, get it going, gun just feels good. It's relaxing, like a completely different game than what you're used to. And I really don't like using that skill because it just uses up both wire bugs. Oh, I only have one shot left of that. And for those wondering, yes, I did forget Thunder Ammo, which would have been the rapid fire of this gun. But apparently we don't need it. Now, I didn't touch him much in this one because, well, unless you're using hammer or something blunt like a hunting horn, you're probably not going to get them, but those claws can be broken, and they're the hardest thing to get on it, which can only be gotten from carbs, by the way. You can't capture it to get those. Either break them or carve them. There is a silver lining, though. There is an Apex Mitsu. And the Apexes in this game are actually fun to fight. Which is why I'm looking forward to Apex Rafalos. Really, I'm just looking forward to any new content because although I have over 100 plus hours with my other accounts, it's starting to get a little bit barren. Oh great, it entered pissy boss mode. Right into a mine. Would have been far faster if I had remembered my Thunder Ammo. So that was Mitsu. Overall, one of the more interesting design monsters that originally came from Generations, with the Beta 4 alongside Glavenus, Gameth, and Astalos. I still think that the Japanese name was better, Ryjax. Then again, I also like the Japanese name for Zinogre, Jinuga. Of course, for every Ryjax or Jinuga, there's Dinovoldo for Glavenus. Okay, they seem gone now. There was a truck going by. Which, in the middle of nowhere, you'd be surprised how I really don't have to worry about that. Gotta love quote-unquote new neighbors. Alright, let's reload on our ammo types. And actually grab some freaking thunder ammo this time. And go ahead and load up on it in the box too. We'll say 2 full clips in the box. Or 2 full supplies. There we go. Again, one of the biggest things about gunning is money. Woo, gambling. Okay, our next opponent for this episode is Nargacuga. Just because I don't want to switch guns yet. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and see Mitsu's armor. Weeb. Weeb. I'm joking, of course. I do like the set, but weeb. Nargacuga. The second of the 3 giant cat wyvern things. And personally, the fan favorite. Still not mine. Still not mine. For that, we had to go 1 step above. I forgot to reload my paralysis and sleep ammos. Yeah, this is a curse about some people playing bowguns. You just forget to reload certain ammos. That being said, I shouldn't need sleep or anything too much. In fact, we'll start with the sleep just to get out of the way. Are you for real? Can't really complain about it either because, again, we live out and already asleep. Just unload all 3 here, and then fire down the body for the... But yeah, the light bowgun has pretty decent damage overall. Although you'll be relying upon crits, status, and elements more. They definitely want to focus on those mostly with the light bowgun. And raw damage with the heavy. Overall, though, the damage of the light bowgun is not to be shunned, or even scoffed. Holy crap. Those wings are pretty tough to break at some points. And I'm just eating them, essentially. And it gone. Let's try paralysis, even though I only have 4 shots. And 4. Nope. Go ahead and reload that. Again, how do Imagine just feels good to use? Again, you're just feeling like an action star jumping over everything. It feels like the old school days of Generations Ultimate about playing aerial bowgun. Or even aerial bow. The last time I actually enjoyed guns. And jump. They did make Narga a little bit predictable, but he's still a fun fight. Oh, I ran out of thunder ammo. Alright, let's try to stick his face. Come on, look at me. Look at me. Boom. Yep. So many noises today. Interesting. Easy. Ooh, are we finally going to see elusive cards? Perhaps. Nah, that should be fine. And that's sort of the problem with these bigger monsters, is they just become pierce, spread, and shrapnel magnets. There are so many ways to just deal multiple damage points to these monsters that it's actually a lot easier than earlier monsters. Hi, Toby. What? Okay, there was a collision detection issue there. should be dead in 3 more shots. If they all hit. There we go. Yeah, you don't need health bars with these games once you realize how everything works. Once you get a feel for certain monsters, things become a lot simpler. As for Nargacuga here, I have a lot of experience with its more evil counterpart. The Silverwind. Or even the Green. Or the Lucent. Yeah, Nargacuga has a lot of variants. I'm just wondering if we'll actually see any. Considering how the Apex system works, we might actually see Silverwind again, which terrifies me. But in the Apex system, it might be okay. That monster, especially its level 2 where you have to capture it, and it shows... Well, let's just say it could be in the cusp of capture, and you wouldn't know. It is literally that tight a window. And all I can say is, thank goodness for the little blue skull to the right. It's a little broken at times, it's annoying on multiplayer, but you know what? It stops things like what happens with the Silverwind. Alright. Now we're just going to see the Narga armor. And call it for this episode. Nargacuga. Weeb. Weeb. Weeb! I say, in a actual ninja town. I did not think things through. Like I normally don't. Heyo! Anyways, this is going to wrap up this episode. Narga and Mitsu are some of the more fan-favorite monsters, so this was fun to gun. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. As already stated, have a good one.